Paltrocast.
Marissa Jo, how's
Hi.
your day going so far, aside from answering the same questions over and over and over again?
It's good. So it could be so much worse. I'm in Washington, D.C. It's sunny. I have some water and some coffee. I'm great. How about you?
I'm fine. You just answered about four of my questions right there. I usually ask, is it still coffee o'clock? Because you have to be concerned, or is it an energy drink time? Or do you have an energy drink endorsement? Do you have any of those things?
No, I wish I had a coffee, an iced coffee endorsement or a canned wine endorsement would be really cool.
Got it. Well, the follow-up to that, do I call you MJ or Marissa Jo?
Sure. It's whatever you're comfortable with, either one. MJ is usually just quicker for everybody.
Is that really saving a lot of syllables? When you do that, people say WW2, that's more syllables than World War II. So either way, Marissa Jo, thank you for taking the time. Congratulations on Black Cake. Now, you are the creator, also the showrunner. Not often is the creator also doing the showrunner stuff. Did you know at the beginning, hey, I also want to do the showrunning?
Yes, there's absolutely no way I was going to adapt this book and not be responsible for everything else. Like, no way. Yes, I just loved the book so much. And I know it's execution based in order to do what we're trying to do here. And I really wanted to do a premium, elevated, prestige, streaming drama with a lot of heart. And it's hard to do that. And so I wanted to be involved in every single wig, every costume, every song, like every casting decision. I absolutely, I haven't yet done anything like this is my second show as showrunner, and I only take on these things that are absolute passion projects because I know that I'm just not at the place where I can be like, here you go. I can't just give it away.
Right. How did you first discover the book?
I read it when it was a manuscript about 3 years ago, and I was actually about to go into production on my first show as showrunner. So I was already thinking about like what's next for me and how could it be different. But I didn't know what it was going to be, and there was no rush because I was about to film a television show. But the moment I finished reading the book, I was like, oh my God, no, if I wait one day, someone else will grab this and I have to be the one to tell the story. This is so personal to me. I will protect it. I love these characters so much. I know these characters. I think it's the right time for this type of project. So I just knew, I mean, literally, I called my agent the moment I finished the book and said, it's a TV show. It's not a movie. It's mine, has to be mine. I need to meet the author. Please, please, please. And then it all worked out.
So I'm about to give you a compliment, but I don't know if it's an accident or it's a genius move on your part. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. So usually when you're doing a book, you're putting together a film, you get to do the research phase of it, and the research of that arguably becomes tax deductible. So in your case, you figured out I could potentially do a lot of travel for research, and I can indulge in cake or dessert because, hey, it's in the script, it's in the book.
Yeah.
I have to do this. Accident or genius?
Oh, accident, because I was not able to do any research until we were scouting for locations. I went to Jamaica for the first time when we were like 2 months before we were filming, when we wanted to make sure that Jamaica was going to be it. And so I was just too busy working on the other show, but I wish I was that smart. I will make sure that's in there next time. For the next show, I'm going to be strategic.
For your next show called Free Sports Car. So yeah, you have excellent credits, my words, not yours. And you've worked on some really well-crafted, dramatic, character-driven shows. But did you ever have a phase in your career where you were looking to do different kinds of stuff that you said, I want to do comedies, and you end up here?
Well, I've written, I mean, as samples, every type of every genre you can imagine. Thank God, like nobody has access to most of those scripts. I've written romantic comedies, I've written a horror, I've written, haunted house things, but that was all really before I got like my first paying gig. And it was all part of it though. I was writing things that people were telling me were going to sell. And then when I actually wrote the least commercial thing in the world, an indie movie about conversion therapy in the rural Midwest, that's the one that got me, on the blacklist and got me staffed and got me jobs, and I optioned it, like that little tiny thing. And that was my real voice, and my real interests were on the page. And I always tell a young writer, or up and coming writers, I want to say young, to do that, to be truthful, to like not to go to like skip past the years I wasted trying to make other people happy when I just had the story in me all along. And so, yeah, but to answer your question, I always knew I wanted to write heavy, emotional, complicated stories with women as the main characters. And I've been fortunate before I got my own shows that I was able to do that, specifically the last one before my own, which was Handmaid's Tale, which was like the perfect gig.
Right. I didn't realize that you were a blacklist recipient, blacklist benefactor. Is that the word that I'm looking for?
No, it's just like you're on the blacklist, but it was 10 years ago, and it was amazing. I mean, people like started taking me seriously, that I had a script on the blacklist. Like I still wear it as like a badge of honor, because I do think it opened up some doors for me when I was I got on the blacklist, and I think I was staffed that same year. So it all sort of happened when it happened.
These days, I've had the pleasure of interviewing some people who are benefactors of the blacklist in partnership, I think, with Hornitos Tequila. So I think they get the cash and the tequila plus the recognition.
I got zero cash. I got no cash, no tequila, but I was on a really cool list of people.
Got it. So we, the ignorant media, the only stuff that we know about the show is the screeners, the press release, and what's on IMDb. How long did you have to keep it a secret that this was coming to Hulu?
Oh, I think it actually was out pretty quickly. I mean, we sold it. I think I sold it in August. We sold it in August of 2022, and then I think it was, or no, 2021, and I think it was on deadline like a day later or something.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, it was. I'd worked on the pitch for a few weeks, and then we connected with Harpo Films, and so we all took it out and then sold it to Hulu. But that all happened pretty quickly. And then since Oprah, it was, an executive producer, people were very excited to hear about it. People didn't care about me, but they cared about the book, and Oprah was an executive producer.
Well, now they care about you. So, pretty soon we're going to see it sold because you endorsed the show or the film. Fingers crossed with that continuing. But is this season totally locked? And by that, I mean, some of these junkets they're still color correcting and adding VFX and music and all that kind of stuff.
No, we locked in April. We started filming in July of 2022, finished in February of 2023. So we've been done. I mean, we've been done for a long time, and because it was I think the air dates changed, but yeah, we were done. Like I forgot what happens in half the episodes.
Well, two quick questions and then I let you go. The first one is, you're originally from Louisville, which is a great city. I've had the pleasure of going to a few times. Did you grow up there, or you're just born there, or IMDb's wrong?
I was born there, but I have never visited. I think I've been to Kentucky. I was adopted. So my parents didn't even live there. They lived in Tennessee. They adopted me. But I grew up in Illinois, in this little town called Athens, spelled Athens, but pronounced Athens. And so that I'm a Midwesterner, like very small town Midwesterner. I want to go there someday, to the city where I was born. It just hasn't happened yet.
The big development the past couple of years is this Williamsburg, Brooklyn-esque neighborhood that popped up called Portland, that's within Louisville. So something to keep an eye out for there. And the last question, which has nothing to do with Black Cake being fantastic, is when you're not busy, running and creating shows, what do you do?
I'm a mom of an 8-year-old, and my life is my amazing daughter and my husband and my dog. So I'm just being a mom and like reading books and graphic novels and watching The Babysitter's Club. And, like that's what I do. I don't really have any free time, but my daughter is my priority, and she's my hobby. And that sounds weird. She's what I do in my free time is hang with my kid.
So it's all craft and all family all the time.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Absolutely. No time for anything else.
no time for anything else. Yet the film, yet the whole series of the season was locked 6 months ago. So that means more stuff is coming from you soon. We're not allowed to know what it is yet, but keep checking the trades.
Yeah, I'm going to take a new project out top of the year, and that's what I've been working on, is a new
Fantastic.
series. Yeah.
Well, congrats on that. Thank you for your time, and really looking
Thank
forward to
you.
that next project at the top of the year.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Paltrocast.